And these teachings are offered on donation. There's a donation box at the front. And also, if you would like to use your email address so we can contact you in the future, that would be great. So you can just please sign to switch off your phones. And tonight, Rinpoche is teaching meditation and teachings on mindfulness.
Saje Loyan Chepjan Sirtar Chechon Temoyan Tembaye Chuni Korlo Korde Elso Namgi Duji Shadiri Suno Janimata Deje Honjamba Sejel Hamba Tawajim Shadi Jerbu Shavra Kushan Sar Urjan Solam Pami Donli Javi Namcharam Jalhan Jishun Sansa Huishayan Dan Somba Pemanjoni Dalu Penchur Angumborjo Ayan Diwana Tome Nyen Shola Chujita Chuchun Yosya Hwa Jilas Zamlin Jenchun Namla Kushan Sar Anzanglan Zibi Jenchun Chunjina Tuje Longton Nyambi Tamaya Natro Dambavi Peter Juji Kundi Shukur Tome Timi Wazir Shavla Kushan Sar Shibsha Gunjin Dola Jibzi Ter Timi Wazir Yam Chartuk Tenzo Wasamon Chinam Kinam Jab Jingme Limbi Shavla Kushan Sar Mari Sangin Chenan Yangla Shar Kunda Zambu Molam Nambar Jan Sibshi Jarin Tulinzi Mipam Jamchu Shavla Kushan Sar Pami Tuksi Durjib Danjumni Turbi Namro Lira Lampikar Matu Londari Bihun Jingme Pancho Shavla Kushan Sar Kamsung Kurwa Tontu Nunjimbe Sabjila Yondan Darshinba Nilwara Jabdombe Namju Yeshi Mamchu Shavla Kushan Sar Kunzan Dursim Garab Shirasan Pema Gara Jimba Nyushuma Sozur Namnya Tertunji Kateri Lama Namla Kushan Sar Kanda Choju Dongonji Tena Desalamar Jura Kansata Tandur Tumbi Shuji Shem Sembrando Badeda Tamche Darsha Chi Namo Arya Dambar Hai Gedan Ladano Shinke Trum Dana Mi Kenam Dan Roa Kunji Takachizam Tamche Geda Chujan Tujur Chi. Okay, so we go in prayer on English, the four immeasurable bodhicitta, 3 times only. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and the other distant. Alright, so now this evening we are going to talk about the teachings and the meditating on of mindfulness. That is our topic. The meditation is generally could be and briefly there's two counter difference. One is analytical meditation or analyzation meditation, and one is a stabilizing meditation. But these kind of the mindfulness could be kind like the both of a stabilizing meditation and analytical meditation. Because in Sanskrit there's one is shamatha meditation, one is vipassana meditation. So vipassana meditation is more on the focus on the object, one pointedly or mind focus on object of your meditation. Concentration without any concepts and without any distraction. And then that means that the shamatha is a calmness dawn, calm abiding meditation. And then vipassana means in Tibetan Laktong, literally on English special insight. So special insight meditation. Special insight meditation is related to the second one, the analytical meditation. So the analytical meditation, we has to be a little bit understood clearly what is the view of your meditation object, better follow the perfect reasoning and perfect of investigations, and finally when you found the certainty from this logic and born of the convicts convictions born from of this analytical meditation, and then focus on this view. So and then finally this both could be union. You can practice in union where about the vipassana and shamatha meditation. So this just generally introduced to you the point about meditation. So meditation, the meaning could be like in Tibetan gum. Gum is like training, mind training, practice mentally has to be more become familiarity about on the width of your view, and your view become more habituated. So this is the point, meaning meditation. But the meditation could become habituated or become more familiarity about what kind you want to prove about your meditation object. But today we are going to speak about the meditation object is mindfulness. So in this way, the mindfulness, first we're going to little bit teaching about the meditation on mindfulness, and then the second state we're going to gather practice on this meditation. So first I will let you know a little bit about what means is mindfulness. So mindfulness is a general word. Thus could be point meaning is the union about the stabilization, meditation concentration, and the analytical meditation, which means vipassana and shamatha union. because in mindfulness we can description in two different kind of aspect, but one nature, which is the aspect of abiding placement mind, or just state meditation, stateness, or something, a stabilization meditation. But mindful is like memory, just remembering, the opposite of forgetting or forgetfulness. The opposite of forgettingfulness, that is, we say mindfulness. So you should not forget what kind of view you want to progress and which kind of view you want to become more habituated. So therefore you keep this continuously during the 2 ways. One, equipoise, one-pointedness equipoise meditation time, without any distractions, focus on this view, has to be more habituated and has to be more familiarity. And then one is during the post-meditation times, focus on this conviction, what you understand the view, during the walking time, talking time, eating time, sleeping time, any times. That's the post-meditation time. Has to be more, train your mind on this. So therefore, when you're forgetting any of either of during the equipoise meditation times, if you're forgetting your meditation object and your mind, the subject is scattered, wandering there and here, that means is you lost the power of your mindfulness. And then how could we can recognize your meditation going on with of mindfulness? The power is powerfully, or already is your mind is with of the forgetting or jumpingness or object to another object, or your mind already is scattered. Really has to be recognized whether your power of alertness, or other hand we can say power of alertness, power of analytical, and the power of understanding, or the power by the power of awareness, by the power of sometimes we can say also the power of vigilance, so on. Anyway, generally we can say the power of alertness. That is more wisdom. The alertness is a more point meaning is wisdom, because analyze, you need to check, watching. Sometimes we can say watchingfulness or something like this, the meditation with. So watching means is your meditation with pure or unpure. Your meditation quality with obscured by the obscuration of laxity, or obscured to your meditation quality, the obscuration of excitement. So this kind of recognition, the power of the recognition is, we can say, alertness. Time to time you need to check, So therefore, if your mindfulness, one-pointedness, equipoise meditation concentration, the mindfulness, or no matter as post-meditation or equipoise meditation times, if you can focus continuously without distractions on your meditation object, and that means that's the main power supporting the developing about your energy of the alertness. And then at the same time, simultaneously, when your power of meditation, power of alertness, the analytical, the power is very strong, and then at this can support to your mindfulness also. One-pointedness equipoise under your meditation concentration, you can continuously without of any obstacles. So therefore, these two, the mindfulness and the alertness, finally is union. the practice. If you are good meditators, and then you should not forget any one of these two aspects of mindfulness and the aspect of the alertness. So that means is shamatha vipassana is become union, or the stabilizing meditation and analytical meditation become union finally. So therefore, sometimes the mindfulness we could get explanation individually, separate from of the alertness, and sometimes we can explain both of the alertness and the mindfulness is one point, meaning that means it's only mindfulness but including both in this meditation concentration of mindfulness. So therefore, what I'm talking is the mindfulness is the definition of mindfulness is with two aspects, the qualities aspect or two qualities. One, a stabilizing or placement mind, steadiness, and one is alertness or understanding. Has to be awareness, your meditation going well, or with obstacles, or start approaching distractions or so on, so immediately. So that's why they're giving an example, the lasso and the arrow hook, the hook and the lasso. Because our mind is, meditators, ordinary mind is like elephant. So elephant is the example, it's like elephant. Why they can give an example of an elephant? Because elephant can we understanding the analogy of object or your meditation, the quality, there's two. One, untamed mind. Very, very untamed ordinary mind. You don't know how control your distraction mind. You don't know how to focus one pointedly on your meditation object. Your mind is too much distracted with the obscuration of delusion, afflictive emotion, discriminative emotion. Your mind too much of the confliction thoughts is too much busyness. So busyness mind busy. So this mind is like example wild elephant, untamed elephant, or very wild or the mad of a crazy elephant like. So this is very strong because crazy and the wild elephant is very strong, very danger. Can destroy the round everything, So the untamed, the wild human mind is as most one danger in this world, in this world, Firstly, and can destroy one's own heart or mind or inner peace. That can destroy one's own inner peace. That destroy the relaxation, the restness feeling, comfortable feeling, happiness feeling, enjoyment feeling, the peaceful mind. All is can destroy. And then secondarily, destroy and to the wrong people. So so the peaceful and happy, enjoy or harmony or so on. And finally, can destroy neighbor, town, so the city, country, the world also can start to destroy, So therefore, much more danger than untamed wild elephant or the crazy elephant, So therefore, and then if you know how control of your crazy, the distraction, the jumpiness of the busyness, monkey mind, or the crazy, untamed, wild elephant mind, finally, completely, if your mind is a calmness down and free from of the distractions, achievement, experiencings of your view, meditation, concentrations become more habituated, completely is an attainment of the principle achievement of the relaxation. That means the physical and the mentally achievement experience. You will be experiencing the bliss of the physical places, and will be experiencing on the mental places. That means is very achievement of the relaxation, restness. That's a tamed mind, As long as you want to focus on an object of meditation, without any distractions, without any, effort, effortlessly, naturally, spontaneously you can, or you want to sending your mind is to the another object of a study of the learning of some and then you can so freely. So this kind of means is tamed, or mind is completely tamed. So this is like the tamed elephant. The tamed elephant is most one of the useful or listener among these of the animals. The tamed elephant is even asked to holding you to pick up the burning iron, and then the elephant is burning is with the smoke arising, but still they're holding. Very listener, the tamed elephant. So the tamed human mind is much more learning, the listener, because the tamed human mind could be leading yourself to the happiness enjoyment, temporary, and also can lead you into the path of ultimate peace, ultimate enjoyment, and finally you could will be attainment state of completely enlightenment. Not only, and on top you can also to benefit other hundreds, thousands, millions, countless beings gradually, lap after of another lap. So therefore that is the most one useful, the tamed human mind, completely achievement mind. So now in this case, how we can control our the wild, the crazy, the song of distraction mind, delusion mind. Now we need to know the two example, the Aaron hook, and the lasso. So these two is the main method how to taming about wild elephant. First, we need to catch the wild elephant head by the strong lasso, strong rope, or the lasso, and to catch of the elephant and head on the big strong pillar or big stone of trees, and then has to be use the better of Aaron hook. If an elephant is very active, as they doesn't listen, then you need to let it be punished, with of this Aaron hook. So, but not ours, but depend, So this is just example. So likewise, is the mindfulness is like lasso, and the alertness, the power of meditation, power of alertness is like Aaron hook, So these two you need to balance. Because if too much analyze during the meditation, and then also your mind will be distracted and distraction, jumpiness. But completely, if you forgetting, means is ignorant your mind, and then you cannot progress the qualities of your meditation, concentration, achievement state. So therefore, we need both, the better power of mindfulness and better power of alertness. And both means is union. So union of the mindfulness and the wisdom of a special insight, the alertness. That is today we need to understand the mindfulness means is both gathering about the one-pointedness mind and the alertness, the analytical mind is become the two powers gathering. That is just first and briefly introduced to you. Meditating on the mindfulness. So now, what is the object of meditation of the mindfulness? This is up to you. What do you want? Meditate emptiness, or you want to become familiarity about compassion, or you want to habituate your mind is with of loving kindness, or you want your mind is become habituated with of the patience. Or you want your mind is become more habituated about of the visualizations of the deities, like Avalokiteshvara, Manjushri, or Buddha, or Bodhisattva. Or you want your mind is become more familiarity about the meditation, the concentration with of the compilation stage, or yoga or so many options. There are optionals, what you like, which kind of meditation object you want to become more familiarity, so on. So therefore, generally, there's so many hundreds of different kind of aspect meditation object. But in briefly, according to the Buddhist point of the mindfulness, because the purpose, temporary benefit, and final purpose is enlightenment, and benefit yourself and benefit others. So in this case, as Buddha first taught the Dharma well of Four Noble Truths. The Noble Truth of suffering, the Noble Truth of the origination of suffering, the Noble Truth of the cessation of suffering, and the Noble Truth of the path of the cessation. This is the Four Noble Truths. So these Four Noble Truths means why I'm talking this, because the mindfulness, for example, in briefly is the common way we can description about there's 4 types of mindfulness, 4 aspects of the mindfulness. The mindfulness of body mindfulness, mindfulness with of the feeling, the sensation of feeling mindfulness with of mind or mind mindfulness or consciousness, and mindfulness of phenomena or dharma. So this is, we say, 4 types of different kind of mindfulness. So these 4 types of different kind of mindfulness is related to the Four Noble Truths. If you can train your mind, focus of the meditation object mindfulness of body mindfulness, that is connected to the Noble Truth of suffering. Buddha's the first of the Noble Truth of the suffering. This is maybe I think that's a mistake. But yeah, that's right. That's suffering. And then is the second mindfulness, the mindfulness of the feeling, the sensation mindfulness. If you can focus your meditation concentration with of mindfulness with of feeling, and that is connected, related to the second Noble Truth, the view of second Noble Truth, which is Noble Truth of the origin or the origination of suffering. And then so when you go into the meditation, the mindfulness with the meditation concentration with the mindfulness on the mindfulness with of the consciousness or mind mindfulness, that is connected really to the third meditation, the third Noble Truth of Buddha's among 4 Noble Truths, which is the Noble Truth of cessation. And then the last one, when we're going to the meditate, has to be more habituated about meditation concentration with a phenomena or the Dharma. So this is connected to the Noble Truth of the view with of Noble Truth of a path of the cessation. So now we later be going to explain this detail. Why we say is if you meditate on concentration, the mindfulness with of body, why this could be connected to the Noble Truth of suffering. Because our body is ordinary, the contaminated aggregates. The body, physical body and mental body. So why we are born in this samsara? Bad depend to the contaminated karma and the conditioning better of delusion and ignorance. So therefore is a better actual cause and condition of delusion and karma, contaminated karma, and performing the fully repentant result is also contaminated aggregates. That's our body. So in this case, even the physically, body can be external physical body, internal mental body, but external physical body we're talking now. The flesh, the bones, the organs, the 5 faculties or the continuity. So this kind is, we can say, the body, that's our ordinary body, the contaminated aggregates of the body, the form of body. So this body is nature is actually is unpleasant. But by ordinary people, we overhandling to pleasant. That means attachment, desire. So, and that is will be performing of the suffering coming. Like with this body, suffering with of birth. With this contaminated body is suffering with the old aging. And with this, as long as with of this contaminated aggregates body and the suffering of illness, sickness, in the end, we'll be experiencing the suffering of death because we have these aggregates, the body. So therefore, if this kind you can keep understanding the reality, the nature of our body during the equipoise meditation concentration and during the post meditation. First, we need to analyze, analytical meditation, like vipassana meditation. And then this view keep continuously on your mind during the post meditation and during the equipoise meditation. Should not forgetting, continuously concentration on this. That means is meditation, mindfulness, But this object is mindfulness of body, mindfulness with of body. So this is meditation, is practice, is related to the noble truth of the suffering, and then the second mindfulness, the mindfulness of feeling. The feeling is why is connected, the mindfulness practice, mindfulness meditation concentration with the feeling is how can be connection to the noble truth of the origin of suffering, the origination. Origination usually could be division into two aspects. One is origination of contaminated karma, one is origination of delusion. But here is particularly is the feeling is connected to the origination of delusion. Delusion means is afflictive emotion, like desire, anger, ignorance, jealousy, hatred, harmful thought, harming mind, aversion mind, and particularly ignorant, obscuration of ignorant. So in this case now, especially is craving, we can say, craving, the attachment, desire, attachment, craving, negative emotional craving. Negative emotional craving is as the very root, the condition for performing the contaminated karma. The contaminated karma is as a substantial cause of the fully repentant result of the samsara. So, and therefore is the craving. So craving, the aspect of negative emotion, craving is very much is best under or related to the or depend to the from feeling. Pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, equanimity, neutral feeling. Usually during the 24 hours, we can experiencing is a various different kind of aspect of the feeling. The various different kind of our feeling, we can invariably divide it into these three categories: pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral, or the equanimity feeling. So as long as your mind is with the sensation of the experiencing of feeling, any one of these feeling, and then you have craving coming, attachment to craving, the negative emotion craving. So this craving is when you're having the pleasant feeling, you want to keep this pleasant, comfortable enjoyment, the desirable feeling or the desirable object you want to keep continuously as much you can. That is craving. When your feeling is unpleasant, suffering, sorrow, uncomfortable, and then you also very much you have strong desire, craving as much as possible to avoid such of unpleasant feeling. As soon as possible you want to be separate from this kind of the unpleasant feeling. So that also craving, And then is when is not your feeling is pleasant and unpleasant, equanimity feeling. And then also you have the craving, you want to keep, this equanimity attachment to of this equal feeling, because neither of pleasant and nor of unpleasant. So therefore is you feel relaxed and restless, comfortable, something. So anyway, that means is the feeling is the root or the basis of craving. So craving is the root of karma. Karma is the root of the suffering of the samsara, or the result of samsara, the rapid result of samsara. So that's why if somebody want to be freedom from suffering, we need to avoid contaminated karma. If we want to freedom from contaminated karma, must be avoid the delusion, particularly the craving attachment. If we want to be freedom from the craving, attachment of craving, and then has to be freedom from the feeling, the sensation of feeling. So therefore, we need to understand the feeling, no matter unpleasant feeling, of course, that is suffering of suffering. Very clear. Even animals, we can say mental stupidity, blindness, mind, but they can recognize easily. Because when arising, as long as it remains suffering, and when will be ceasing, stopping, and then they happy, enjoy. So therefore, even the animals can recognize the suffering of suffering, the unpleasant feeling. And then the second feeling, the pleasant feeling. This little bit, not difficult to recognize, because when they are arising, you can't feel suffering. You happy, enjoy this. You enjoyment with this. And therefore, as long as remaining continuously, the temporary happiness, the contaminated enjoyment, still you feel comfortable. You can't feel suffering. And the end, when we'll be ceasing, stopping, or changing about this continuity of pleasant feeling, and then you will be despondent, regretment, or sadness or suffering, sorrow is coming. That time, the end you will be understand that was not pure, that is deceptive object of pleasant happiness, enjoyment, will be deceiving you, but too late actually, So this kind is the end you understand. Very first appearance, you can feel suffering. As long as remaining, you cannot feel directly suffering. But the end, when the changing, then is you can feel suffering. So this is, as you can say, the suffering of change. Suffering of change. So now, as this, the first one, the suffering of suffering is related to the unpleasant feeling, and the suffering of change is connected to the pleasant feeling, the contaminated temporary happiness, temporary enjoyment, pleasant feeling. Now, the equanimity feeling. The most difficult is hardest to recognition the faults or the suffering of samsara, the nature of suffering of samsara. Because the equanimity feeling means is the suffering of all pervasive suffering or unsatisfaction state of suffering. So this kind is because not the suffering of suffering, not suffering of change, but all pervasive suffering. Because this is all pervasive suffering is not the pleasant feeling, not with the unpleasant feeling, but equanimity. So therefore, equal feeling, you can't recognize, never ever, nature is suffering. When they are arising, you cannot see. As long as remaining with you, you cannot feel suffering. Even the end, when the ceasing, stopping of this all-pervasive suffering, but you cannot feel suffering. So that means always hiding phenomena, secret for you. But then what problem if you say is hiding? That is fine, because when arising you can feel suffering, remains cannot, in the end ceasing you cannot, that's fine. It's beyond, it looks like suffering of 3 times past, present and future. But actually the all pervasive suffering is as the basics, fundamental of the first 2 sufferings, the suffering of suffering and suffering of change. As long as with any one of suffering of change, and then all pervasive suffering is in the hidden way, secret way, and with you. The contaminated continuity, momentary changes of the contaminated aggregates is at the fundamental of suffering of change. Even we cannot feel, the ordinary person ordinary people cannot experience it directly, cannot recognize it directly of the all pervasive suffering. But doesn't mean the ordinary people cannot understanding the all pervasive suffering. If you follow valid cognition and follow the perfect logic and reason to judge, and then the heating phenomena, you follow the reasoning through the judgment, the reasoning comes through depend with the heating phenomena logic, and then of course even ordinary can understand the best of basic the suffering, but cannot experience things directly. So therefore, it is the equal feeling, equanimity feeling. So and therefore, in this case, however, we mention you among the Four Noble Truths, the second noble truth of the cessation. The noble truth of the origination of the samsara. That means is the karma and delusion, particularly delusion, especially in the delusion of the attachment, craving. So craving is related to of the feeling. So therefore, when you can do meditation on the of mindfulness with of the feeling, mindfulness among the four we mentioned, you just remember you again, mindfulness body, mindfulness of feeling, mindfulness of mind or consciousness, mindfulness of phenomena or dharma. So we're talking about the second one, the mindfulness of the feeling. So this is why connected to the noble truth of origination. So that's why I'm description explained to you, introduced to you. That's the second mindfulness. And the third aspect, mindfulness, meditation consider mindfulness of the consciousness or the mind, mindfulness. This means is among the five aggregates. One is an aggregate of consciousness. Eye consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, air consciousness, the body consciousness, and on top is a mental consciousness. There's six consciousness. But six aspects depend to the six faculties and depend to the of external, the observed object of six sense source of external object. But only one continuity, one person, we have only one continuum, the clarity awareness. The mind, one person have one mind. But there's six different kind of aspects of consciousness, So that means it's the aggregates of consciousness. So then because of the aggregates of consciousness, our mind can naturally be feel. That's the basics of person. The basis of person. Person means I, me. Everyone we have self-grasping. Everyone, if we are ordinary, then we have the self-attachment. Self-clinging, ego-clinging. Clinging oneself, I or me. And clinging to others. And between their attachment, self-attachment, ego-clinging, pride, arrogance, selfishness, these kind of all the emotions from the self-attachment. So therefore we are having the jealousy, hatred, harmful thought, harming mind, anger, shouting, yearning with other people because we cling into others. So desire, anger. And both actually there's no existent, yourself and others. Nature is selflessness of self of yourself and selflessness of self of others. Unborn nature, emptiness actually. But we apprehend to existent yourself inherently, and we apprehend to existent others. Means we apprehend to existent inherently both of yourself and other beings. That's ordinary ignorant mind. Among three positions, that is the position ignorant. So this kind of self-attachment is at the root of delusion, karma, and the result suffering of the samsara. So therefore, the problems is as long as we're having very strongly attachment to the self. Attachment is there, self-grasping is there, and that is as long as having the self, and that is having the problem. So this is the root. So in this case, now we need to understand what is the definition of our consciousness. Because usually we 80-90% someone, if you believe the reincarnation, if you believe past life and future life, which means if you believe you are born from past life, and you believe you will be reborn again and the next rebirth, future life. In this case, what do you think? What is the basics of your reincarnation? Because there are two options: body, materiality, external of body, and internal of the mentality, mind. But physically, that's contradictory, not possible, because physically we born our parents. That's not reincarnation. And then physically, this lineage from grandparents and grandparents, or so on, so on. So that's not reincarnation. And physically, the end, when there comes the stopping of a heartbeat, breathing circulation stopped, and nerve functions, neuron system is exhaustion, and then explodes into atoms. Means is decomposed and decayed this body, and the end is dissolving into atoms. Flesh element dissolve into earth, the blood element will be dissolved into water, the temperature of a body element dissolve into fire, breathing circulation element will be dissolving into the wind, and the cavities such of the nostrils, so on. This part is dissolving into the space element. This is ended in this life of the circulation of the physical lineage. So therefore, this cannot be basis of the reincarnation. Very clear. But mental, someone, if you feel the reincarnation, and then is who is born from past life, and who is going to the next rebirth. Means you say I born from past life. I will be reborn in next life again. Then where is I? Where is me? Means where is person? Means is the point is consciousness. This usually ordinary feel easily. Oh, my consciousness. Usually it's my consciousness, but it's me consciousness. Like you feel. So in this case now, would you think usually yourself is only one person, or 2, 3, 4, 5 people? Of course, easily you say, of course, I'm one person. Myself is one self. It's one person, not 2, 3 people. This is true. So in this case, would you think also if you believe past life, present, future life, and then is yourself is permanent? Naturally you feel yes, permanent. Because that's why the previous myself and the present of myself and the future of myself is one person. That means it's permanent. Looks like naturally you feel. But that's mistake. Mistake means there's no permanent self. There's no single identity of self. Cannot exist inherently, cannot established substantially. No possible. Mentioned to you, there's no self. Self is like rabbit home, because rabbit have no home. Usually we say have no home. If you found a home, that does not rabbit. Okay. Anyway, that's maybe God or something like. If it comes no rabbit, it's horns, then that's change the definition. So anyway, that's just an example. Self is like rabbit home, it's no. According to the ultimate, means But we believe, naturally you feel is self is existent. In this case, what can't? The clarity, awareness, continuity of your consciousness. That is you feel is yourself. Then, now we're talking about the third mindfulness, the mindfulness of mind. Because you see the analytical meditation, alertness, the power of Aaron Hook, the alertness or the investigating, a judgment to research, to understand about yourself, of consciousness. But then what do you understand? Consciousness is definition is momentarily change. Moment. Past moments already past. Present moment at the moment existent, but it's just next moment, and then it will be ceasing, stopping. So this continuity, 100 moments is 1 minute, and 60 minutes is 1 hour. 24 hours is 1 day, and 7 days is 1 week. This is continuity. We are holding together, me or I. If you believe yourself is the consciousness is the basis of yourself, And then, if one nature of yourself and your consciousness is a same test, that means is contradiction, because there's 5 consciousness. If same nature of yourself and then you have become 5 people, cannot be one. Even the mental consciousness alone, that is you, and the mental consciousness also become 2, 3, 5 difference. Afflictive emotion consciousness, alaya consciousness, alaya itself, and ground base clear lit mind. So there's 4. So it become 4 people. Even you say the alaya consciousness, the best of all consciousness must be me or you. And then best of all consciousness, they have so many various different kind of aspects, the imprints of previous actions, karma stored on them. So therefore there's hundreds, millions different kind of aspect of alaya. It means is the aspect of the imprints stored on the of your alaya. So that means is you are not one person, become millions people, as a contradictory. It cannot, Anywhere is there's no permanent self. No inherently of the, so you cannot establish of the self. So this you can understand when you can formed better of the alertness, power of the special insight, so the judgment, and then you get these convictions coming. Means is you understand it. There's no permanent self. There's no single identity self. No inherently existent of self. So self can be existent but imputedly. Self could be is just illusorily, but relatively self, like magic illusion but not truly. So in this, when you understanding, that means is the mindfulness of mind. You understand your mind nature, the definition of your mind you can understand. If you could this understand, then the mindfulness of mind is related to the 3rd noble truth. Noble truth of cessation from Buddha's 4 noble truth, the 3rd noble truth, the noble truth of cessation. What means cessation? Cessation or stopping. Stopping of the result of suffering of samsara, and stopping and ceasing the origination of suffering of samsara. Means is the delusion, will be ceasing of a delusion and contaminated karma. Therefore, we'll be stopping about the suffering of change, and all pervasive suffering. Finally, you will be freedom from the suffering of samsara. So that means cessation is 100% sure. Everyone, sooner or later, you can find the way. Attainment will be attainment state of the stopping of suffering and the causes of the suffering. Means the noble truth of the origination of suffering and the result of noble truth of the suffering. You can be freedom. That means cessation. When you having recognize, when you having understanding, when you get the conviction, certainty is born from your judgment, perfect logic, perfect reasoning, and that means you found the view, how to find of achievement state, of enlightenment state of the cessation. Very clear. So therefore, is when you understand with you can train your mind practice habitude of the mindfulness of the mind of mindfulness, and that is connected to the of a noble truth of the cessation. Because what means is wandering in samsara? What means is you will be liberation of samsara. Main point is when as long as you have self-grasping, clinging, ego clinging, I or me, apprehending, this view is there, the wrong view is there, wrong perception, the self-attachment, self-grasping, that is the samsara. You are ordinary being. When you will be realization, true nature of selflessness, emptiness, the true nature of yourself. Just only is conventionally, imputedly, you can do practice, meditate, learning, studying, purification. Imputedly, you can wandering in samsara, and imputedly, you can enlightenment. But absolute, ultimately, there's no self. Therefore, ultimately, no samsara, no nirvana, actually. So this kind is when the cessation means is when you understand 100% is guaranteed, then logically get this conviction born, and then you understand the noble truth of cessation. Truly. So therefore, this is very much related to the understanding the mindfulness of mind or the consciousness, because mind or consciousness usually is the object of the delusion of self-grasping, But mind definition and your grasping self is the contradictory, cannot be. So therefore, is the mind, your mind nature, your nature of your mind, your consciousness is not the basics of self. And there's no other basis of the self. There's no basis of the self, no possible. So therefore, it's actually, of course, the self is not existent. So that's why the noble truth, the mindfulness of mind, is related to the noble truth of cessation. So now, when your understanding is 100% possible, everyone can attainment the stopping of suffering and the origination of suffering. But now how we can achievement state of the cessation? Or takes how long will be enlightenment of the cessation? Is this depend to the fourth noble truth, last one, the noble truth of path, among the four noble truths. Then what is the path? What is the definition of path? Compassion and wisdom. The union of great method of compassion and great perfection of wisdom of emptiness. That is actual path for attainment of nirvana or for attainment of the cessation, noble truth of cessation. You need to train it, So in this case, particularly the wisdom now we're talking. Among these two collections, the collection of wisdom is a main method. The wisdom, the recognition, emptiness, wisdom is as a main method or antidote to the self-grasping. You see now, self-grasping, self-attachment. Conventionally, better your wisdom, analytical meditation, wisdom, understanding, but conventionally, everything is illusion. Appearances of three spheres, the object, subject, and the activity itself are illusorily, like reflection, appearances, moon in the water, or like magic illusion, totally like dreaming, because phenomena are originated by the interdependently. So therefore, nature is emptiness, appearances just illusion. So according to the conventionally, appearance is illusion, and ultimately unborn nature emptiness. These two aspects of conventional truth, aspect of ultimate truth, is one nature, one test, totally union, completely union, only as experiences of different aspect, two aspect, conventional truth, aspect of ultimate truth. So when you understand this is a phenomena, without any unexception, sense, small tiny external materiality object of atoms, and internally the one moments of partless moments of the consciousness are both unborn, emptiness only, according to the ultimately, but according to the conventionally, the interdependently, yes, existent of the universe, the world, the moon, the stars, the galaxies, the earth, the rivers, the flowers, cars, horse, and our body of the physical eye faculty, nose faculty, tongue faculty, everything are existent by conventionally, illusorily, by relatively. But according to the ultimately, totally emptiness. Sense of small atom and sense of the partless moments of consciousness, up to of kalpas, eons of your life, up to of the Monte Miru, external materiality, all is unborn, emptiness. That's the reality. So when you get understanding the conviction of this view, emptiness of phenomena, comes from your excellent investigations, analysis, judgment, and the valid cognitions. And then you need to meditate on this with alertness and with power of mindfulness. That's we say meditating on the of mindfulness with phenomena or dharma, the fourth mindfulness. So this fourth one is related to that among the four noble truths, the last one, noble truth of path. Because this recognition, the selflessness, emptiness of self, selflessness, emptiness of phenomena, wisdom, that is actually actual path. When you understand the selflessness of emptiness, and then you understand the great method of compassion, the perfect, excellent compassion is born from the recognition of true nature of emptiness of phenomena. This little bit for you at the beginning is contradictory. You feel contradiction. If there's no existent any beings, and then it's a compassion to whom? If there's no self and the who, from whom is it starting compassion, generating love and compassion each others, if there's no self. But actually, doesn't mean it's Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, holy beings, Arya beings, noble beings, those achievement, accumulation, master of the Mahasiddhis compassion doesn't mean they believe sentient beings existent inherently. Samsara is existent inherently. Sense of the hell realm beings, hungry ghost realm beings, animal realm beings suffering up to human and God realm beings suffering of samsara are existent inherently. No, totally not. They understand clearly sense of hell realm beings experiencing up to of the God realm beings experiencing are just illusion. Mind deluded, their mind deluded, their mind ignorant, obscured by the delusion and by the obscured by the obscuration of ignorant. So therefore, he or her mind is deluded. So illusorily, they are experiencing suffering of a hell realm, heat and cold. Illusorily, they are experiencing suffering with of hungry, thirsty in the hungry ghost realm. And they illusorily experiencing suffering of mental stupidity, blindness, murder to eating each other in the animal realm. Illusorily, we can experiencing suffering of birth, death, old aging, and the sick illness in this human realm. So on, up to. So in the samsara, without any. This illusorily. But both sense of hell realm beings up to of God realm beings, nature is selflessness. Primordially pure, dharma sphere only, emptiness, no self. These Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Arya beings, noble beings, they already understood and they already experienced, they already achievement state realization, this kind of emptiness. That's why it's a supreme being, or Arya being is a noble being. That's why they are liberated from samsara. But that's why there are more strong compassion left to sentient beings, because they understand how we are wandering in this samsara very foolishly. They know self, but we always overhanding to self. So therefore, all the problems from the self-attachment, self-grasping. So Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, clearly they understand, so there's no self, it's no problem. No self-grasping, there's no problem. Because Buddha, Bodhisattva, they have no any problem because they have no self-grasping, So therefore, there's strong, attachment, means is a compassion, love, want to get and leading to other mother sentient beings, to stop of this wrong perception, want to stop of the emotion, negative emotion, the misconception. They want to lead to stop about the ignorant. They want to lead them in a completely enlightenment, achievement state of recognition, emptiness, selflessness, self, and selflessness of phenomena. So this means is the compassion usually we can invariably three different kind of aspects. Compassion with the observing on the sentient being, compassion observing of phenomena or dharma, and third one is compassion without observation. So Bodhisattvas compassion is without observation. because there's no existence of samsara. So therefore they want to benefit to us. They understand 100% can guarantee everyone sooner or later could become enlightenment. They understand, If we doesn't understand enlightenment possible, if we doesn't understand emptiness, selflessness, then our compassion is very weak. Because otherwise with the doubt, how can I benefit to sentient beings? How possible to leading nirvana? How possible is completely freedom of samsara as long as with the self-grasping? So therefore you see, we can compassion for sentient beings suffering, but temporary benefit we can, the famines and get food, drink or something like, the sickness person we can help support to like medication, so on. That's temporary. Today you get medicine, but tomorrow they're getting sick. Tomorrow you get food, but tomorrow again hungry. You so on, So that is temporary. There's no end of the suffering. So this compassion is very tiny, very weak. It's the unlogical compassion. So therefore, Buddhist compassion is compassion without observation. Compassion, that is the excellent, compassion is born from this recognition. So, and therefore, that is the mindfulness of phenomena, on the phenomena. So, however, today this our topic is, we just mentioned you, teaching and meditating on the mindfulness. So therefore, mindfulness is generally the object of so many different kind of the object of mindfulness, but in briefly, I just today mentioned to you just 4 mindfulness. Mindfulness of body, mindfulness of feeling, mindfulness of consciousness of mind, or mindfulness of phenomena or dharma. So this is connect. This 4 mindfulness is related to the noble truth of suffering, noble truth of cessation, the origination of suffering, and noble truth of cessation, and noble truth of a path. So that's generally so that's why we mentioned you before. Today we're talking this mindfulness is with the union of a stabilizing meditation and analytical meditation, union of vipassana and shamatha. So shamatha is more concentration on this view, and vipassana is more understand this view clearly without ignorant. So therefore now we need to keep, has to be more familiarity, has to be more habituated about this view. Keep on your mind better power, mindfulness and alertness. So actually this is very beautiful. Actually this topic is very beautiful, but I don't know how much you get it, the point, what I'm talking, but it's very, very nice. Anyway, then simple. If this is complicated for you, the 4 mindfulness or the 4 noble truth, then no problem. You just choose one. Just the mindfulness with or calm abiding meditation. Just relaxed. You don't need so much investigation, analyze or so on. Just keep relaxed with a long breathing. And one pointedly relax on your breathing circulation. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, counting in number. Do not missing even one single breath. Do not mistake one single breathing sense. First to 21 times. First to 21 times. And during your session, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, or 30 minutes, as much you can. And continuously just focus on. Physically, keep your meditation posture or the 7-point Vajrayana meditation posture, or anyway, very comfortable, flexible. Hold your muscles and relaxed on you're comfortable. Do not sit very tightly. Do not sit very bent, something hardly. Just very flexible, comfortable, and soft, Where sense the toes and up to your shoulder or your fingers or the muscles and the bones, organs, skins, blood, everything's kept very flexible physically. And with if you know meditation posture, the red 7-point meditation posture of Vajrayana is perfect. Either fine on the chair, sofa, cushion, or floor, sitting, but anyway, flexible. Keep flexible. relaxation of physically, and then is verbally during the meditation just silent, without speech, even the breathing circulation, even you counting in 1, 2, 3, but not speech, just mentally to count how many times breathe out, how many times breathing in, the double, the one circulation, counting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 21 times. Or you want to more concentration and then good, you counting in separation, single breathing, 1 in, 2 out, 3 in, 4 out, 5, 5th, and like this way 21 times, and then more, as your mind is concentrated on your breathing circulation, no mistake and no miscounting, So the numbers, that's a simple object of your meditation, meditating on the mindfulness. So now in this case, what is the object of your mindfulness? Not body, not feeling, not the consciousness, not even of course the phenomena. We mentioned the 4 mindfulness, but it's mindfulness on the breathing circulation only, mentally. So we mentally focus on this breathing circulation without any other distractions, without any other thought. Just keep on there, just relaxed, Very beginning, this is simple and easy, but very helpful, useful. Calmness, calm abiding, or statement mind meditation, or a stabilizing meditation, shamatha meditation. And then if you finally if it's few days, several weeks, if you do meditate 7 months, and that is this very comfortable, very easy for you, and then finally do not focus even though on your breathing circulation. Do not mentally do not counting about the number, because still the counting is aspect of small tiny distraction, because on there you have let it be the tiny busyness, tiny thought is there, because on counting of breathing circulation. So therefore finally do not focus on your breathing, only focus on maybe external materiality object. If you feel comfortable for Buddha Dharma and the Buddha Shakyamuni, then it's a statue, just the imaginary of Buddha's statue, do visualize in front above of your ground, or just directly focus on the Buddha's Thanga and Buddha's pictures, Buddha's statues in front of you, 4 feet far, place and around of your, towards of to your face, there. Or just mentally, when even close your eyes, but you can image in front of you, 4 feet far from you, and 1 feet is higher than of your ground. That's a red place. You can the imaginary visualization about this mentally. Just keep this on your mind, one pointedly on there. That's your external object, meditation object, Materiality directly, or just mentality object visualization. So on, just relaxed on there. Finally, even if you can, means is finally even you don't need focus on an object of an imaginary like statue, like just relaxed, rest, acing on your nature of your mind. Relaxed in the state of one's own mind nature. But then, of course, if you don't know, then big questions are coming. What kind like mind nature? So this is another big subject, So, but I believe as most of you, little bit least you can feel something is what kind of definition, the nature of your mind, what you understand, and just relaxed on there. But least I'm saying just analyze example like space. Mind nature is like space. Doesn't mean it's nothingness, but doesn't mean it's established something inherently. So emptiness and luminosity, clarity. The union of emptiness and clarity. That is the definition of your mind. But as much you can understand about this nature definition and do focus on this, recognition, the view. Has to be familiarity, has to be habituated. So that is mindfulness on the mind nature. The meditation on the mindfulness of mind nature. All right, so that is today. So anybody, if you have any questions, first we go into the repeat discussion, question, answer, and then we go some short meditation. If there are anybody, yes.
Can you speak a little bit more about clarity?
Say again?
Can you speak some more about clarity?
I couldn't understand.
Clarity.
Oh, clarity. Okay, clear. It's then I can say, what is it?
Clarity. More,
Your question.
Well, if we look at the mirror aspect of the mind's mirror aspect, is that clarity?
Mind aspect is, there's two. One is clarity and one is unborn nature. These two is the aspect of mind nature. Not only clarity, not only emptiness. Actually, empty nature is as empty nature of your mind is as clarity of your mind, and your mind, essential, the mind of clarity is as nature is as empty. So this just two aspect of true nature, emptiness, Dharma sphere, aspect of essential of luminosity, clarity. So when these two is become union, totally and separability, one test, only different aspect, that means is the definition or the characteristic of your mind nature. It's like something this. But this is, I mentioned already, big subject. Something, one other subject, the teachings.
Rinpoche, many teachers recommend calm abiding first and then analytic meditation, but some teachers do the other way. Which do you?
Either fine, because there's three possibilities. As you mentioned exactly, sometimes you can, because depends on what is convenient for you, and depend which lineage, depend which of the oral instructions from different teachers. So therefore, possibilities first to fond of the shamatha achievement, and not only fond and to meditate, practice achievement of shamatha, calm abiding meditation, and then to fond to the research about of the vipassana meditation. That's the one possibility. And then other is the opposite. First to fond the view born from the convictions, certainty view is born from the shamatha, analytical meditation and the judgment mind, and do meditate shamatha and the vipassana, and then when you will be achievement, accumulation, vipassana meditation, and then to fond shamatha. That's the another one possibilities. Third possibilities is a gather both in union way, analytical meditation and the stabilization meditation, both together, vipassana and this shamatha, with union very beginning together. During the hearing wisdom, contemplation wisdom, and during the meditation wisdom, these are the three is together. So that means is the third possibilities.
How do you do the last together?
All that means is you need to. There's again
another subject.
Yes, another big subject actually. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When you use the phrase clarity and unborn nature, is that what some people would call non-duality? Or is that something different?
Yeah, we can say non-duality. Non-duality is one test.
Yeah.
Non-duality, we can say. Non-duality means there's no object, no subject, no perception, no perceiver, no proceed. So that means it's non-dualistic. your practice meditations. As long as you feel these three aspects of perception, percept, and persevere, and that means it's not really perfect, non-dualistic. That's too dualistic.
Can people live in that state?
Sorry?
Can people get by in the world in that state? It's like I need my ego I need myself to drive my car to get here. But so is it something? It's not something I understand. So I'm talking about something. Although I've had a couple of experiences in my life where I would describe as non-duality, but they were short times, but they were very powerful. And they're very powerful in my memory. The memory of that experience was very powerful to me. But or maybe it's just my mind making it all up. If you see what I mean.
I'm not very clear, but anyway, it's first the non-dualistic. This kind of view is also first need to listen, starting from hearing wisdom, contemplation wisdom, from perfect, authentic teachers' teachings, and then there's hearing wisdom, and on top, and then by yourself you need to judge, check, research for all the cognition. Valid cognitions, make sure 100% without any doubt. Finally, that means is the wisdom of contemplation, or the wisdom of the reflection of the hearing wisdom. And then, because that means you found already is the object of meditation, non-dualistic object, but doesn't mean you having recognized, doesn't mean you having experienced, but you understand only. So the perfect view. We need first perfect view, the non-dualistic. And then when you get it, this aspect of a non-dualistic view, and then must be to meditate, practice, you have to train your mind with this view. That means it's meditation, the wisdom of meditation. And the wisdom of meditation means, is I mentioned you today, as has to be familiarity, has to be habituated about this understanding. First, understanding. Second, to be experiencing. The end, finally, if you do meditate, the experiencings become more familiarity, and clear familiarity habituated. Less and less the obscuration of two dualistic grasping mind, and non-dualistic is grasping mind is become more clear and clear. The end, finally, you will be directly by your primordial wisdom could be can recognize, or could be can analysis to the true nature of this non-dualistic. There is no object, no subject at that moment. That's why we say non-dualistic of your view of the emptiness, of selflessness, self and phenomena. So that means is your achievement of accomplishment of mastery, or maybe bodhisattva, like the real bodhisattva. So therefore, is yes, just beginning, just listening something around this, and thinking about this, judgment about this, experiencing about this, very wonderful, very helpful. That's why Buddha in the text, Nagarjuna says, not easy, very beginning, ordinary, have no karmic connections, not easy to even start arising doubt for emptiness. But in case even something start coming, the doubt means maybe, still this could be, can say, destroy the root of samsara. Of course, when you have without any doubt directly to experiencing, then you're free from samsara. But even start comes the doubt, maybe, makes sense, emptiness of person phenomena. This also is not easy, comes on the mind, But if comes, and that also could be, can start to damage of the root of samsara. So therefore it's very wonderful. Alright, so now we're going to a little bit meditate. So meditation today just be going on, as I mentioned you. There's some options of meditation, object of mindfulness, as up to you, what is comfortable for you, whatever you generally more clear your view, which one you more like to become more familiarity and habituated, and then focus on there. And if you have no any idea, and then just relaxed on the of continuity, the concentration, come abiding on the nature, relaxation without thought, without concepts. So, and anyway, meditation depend to your body, depend to your speech, and depend on mind. Because the distraction, ordinary activities also comes through the body, through the speech, and comes through the heart. So now the meditation also depends to the body, speech, mind. So therefore, physically, as I mentioned to you, just keep hold your muscles, joints, channels, skins, bones, organs, so everything's in very flexible. Keep in very relaxation. Keep in very freely. Do not sit very painfully. Do not sit very tightly. Just keep, no matter you sitting on the cushion, on the sofa, on the chair, on the floor, on the cushions, but just keep very flexible, principle from body physically. That's one important. So the flexible, if I'm saying the whole muscles of your body and keep in flexible, this you understanding, you can feel. But when I say on top, I say even though hold of your bones, the bones keep inflexible. That little bit hard for you to understand. How can be bones make flexible? If you can, as image about how can flexible, keep inflexible, comfortable, even the bones, that means you understanding exactly what I'm saying. Keep physically inflexible during the meditation. And then from the speech, verbally, because some meditation with chanting, melody, recitation, prayer, but here is just come abiding meditations without sound, without speech, just silent. Not only just silent, but keep very quietly your breathing in, breathing out, exhalating, inhalation, exhalation, inhalating, very, very quietly, very peacefully, very naturally, slightly, without sound, your breathing, without sound. Because these can balance your energy. Energy is very much depend to your thought. Your thought very much depend to the energy. So your energy is very unstable, not regular, too strong with a sound or something, and then is your energy also, not flexible, no relaxation. Then your consciousness not easy. So therefore, this very much depend to the speech system during the meditation time. So it's verbally just relaxed on the nature, quietly. That's from speech. And then from mentally now, that's the real actual meditation. Is from heart, from mind. From body, from speech is just the condition. But the actual substantial cause is from mentally. Meditation is from mentally. So therefore now, by mentally, keep your mental energy on the very restingness, relaxationness, is on the state. What do you understand? Nature is like empty space. Like empty space, like. Without any percept, any concept of past, present, future, without any perception of object, subject, and even active itself of meditation. Just relaxed, keep on nature, state of mind, alone. Alright, so we start for 10 minutes. Meditation on continuously 10 minutes. mindfulness. Okay, so and the last part I'm going to dedication prayer. That's dedication prayer representing for everyone, for more life. Dedication for aspiration, prayer for healthy life, harmony, peaceful, free from low rank, reborn higher fortune, and gradually, finally, enlightenment, benefit sentient beings like this way. Just keep your focus on this pure perception. I'm going to dedication prayer. That's all. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining, and thank you for organizing.
Yes, a few words. Thank you very much, Rinpoche, for coming yet again and sharing with us your great knowledge and understanding and experience. And we hope you can come back again, and wish you a long life so that all your virtuous intentions may be accomplished. But we are very grateful to yourself, to Joy, who facilitates this, Danny, isn't it? Yeah. And Andy for accommodating, but our gratitude. Before we depart, may we have a photograph taken with you?
Alright.
Okay. There, my phone. Okay. Anyone want to come in for the photograph?
Speed it up.
That time. Oh.
Do you like to do some photos?
Yeah, I'll put your shoes on here. Oh. Is this okay if we...